So here we have a CompTac holster. Most of the CompTac holsters are pretty similar. This one's for the SIG P320X5. I got this one from Ben Stoker Pro Shop. It has 3 tensioning positions. I think they normally come with Phillips head screws at all 3 positions. When I got this from Ben Stoker Pro Shop, it actually shipped with these 2 tensioning screws, so you can actually adjust the tension on the fly when you walk up to a stage. They work. I'm just not crazy about having to adjust my tensioning and not really know if I'm at the same tensioning consistently every single time. And that's why I really like using the cam lever for this particular application. So with this particular situation, I would probably remove this tensioning screw right here, since we already have one on the lower position, and I'll replace this top tensioning screw with the cam lever. So the first step will be taking out these 2 tensioning screws. Now, we need to keep this top rubber spacer in because we still need that to be able to create tension. However, this middle one right here, you can either leave it in or remove it. It's up to you. It's not really needed anymore. Chances are it'll probably stay in place because this back-facing nut right here protrudes into the holster, so it'll actually hold that rubber spacer in place. So leave it in, take it out, it's up to you. The next thing would be to grab the cam lever. Now, I like to take this cam lever and back out the screw so that it's to the point where this cam lever can't be flipped. It just makes it a little bit easier to install. So I'm going to place it on the top position, and then I'm going to screw it in place. There you go. I'm just going to keep going. And I want it to be able to easily flip up and down. Okay, still a little bit loose for my liking. I'll probably go a little bit further in. Okay, and then at this point, I'll probably just test it with the gun. So it's nice and smooth. When I flip this up, it should be pretty tight. I'll probably go a little bit tighter with that, which means just turning this top adjustment screw in just a little bit further. And that's pretty secure. And then when I flip it down, it's super loose. If at any point in time you can't flip this up or down, what is probably happening is that tensioning screw right in the center is too far backed out, and you just need to adjust that. I typically have it so that it is curved like this to be freely moving for the gun, and then flipped up for a tight fit. You can actually see how much tensioning it adjusts. So once you have a pretty good idea how this whole cam lever system works, one thing I would really recommend is using some blue Loctite. You want to use some blue Loctite on the screw right down here, as well as on the screw right here where it comes into the barrel of the cam lever, and also on the rear nut, locking nut, you want to put some blue Loctite in there. If you want even more security, aside from the blue Loctite, you can also use a small O-ring. What you would do is you would thread this small O-ring onto the screw, apply blue Loctite as described from before, install this on the holster, test, make sure it works, let the blue Loctite dry for about a day, and you should be good to go. So occasionally I'll get a question from people asking whether or not this particular cam lever will work with their particular holster, and to be honest, I can't definitively give an answer to that simply because there are just so many brands of holsters out there. This particular one is an 8x32 cam lever. That's the thread pitch for the screw that binds onto the rear side of the locking nut. And I do know that it's worked with every single CompTac and BladeTech holster I've tried it on. And I think it also works with Redhill Tactical and possibly even Ghost holsters. But for other holsters, I can't say for sure, so I would recommend either contacting your holster manufacturer or taking a thread pitch gauge and testing it for yourself. The great thing about these cam levers is that, and I've been buying these from McMaster, well, McMaster sells them in such a large variety of lengths and thread pitches, you can usually find one that works specifically for your holster.